Hey everyone, it's George from the Race Space podcast, a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast to promote the rise in obstacle course race in the Middle East. The series of episodes will contain interviews from obstacle course race athletes locally and internationally. We will also have interviews with race directors from Spartan Race to Tough Mudder, Desert Warrior Challenge to Ice Warrior Challenge, and different obstacle course race training groups in the Middle East. So please feel free to listen to these episodes, support the athletes, and support obstacle course race in the Middle East. And if you do have any feedback or suggestions, drop them in the comments below. And before we kickstart this episode, we have an important message, so check this out. Spartan is a global fitness brand with a 10 million strong community. We create transformational events, experiences, products, and content to help people, companies, and teams tear down boundaries and expand what they believe to be possible. From day one, nearly 2 decades ago, we've been champions of human transformation. We live to help people get outside, eat healthy, and develop habits that lead to a life of constant progress. With a family of brands, we push people from every corner of the globe outside their comfort zones and immerse them in a world of tough fitness and elite sports. We do this because when you can face and overcome adversity head-on, your potential is limitless. This year in December, in Abu Dhabi, the land of the gazelle, thousands of athletes and spectators will gather at the metropolis in the desert to compete for Spartan immortality. This is a unique opportunity to watch the world's best obstacle course race athletes compete for the World Championship and have your group conquer the course themselves. For Spartan World Championship ticket details and registrations to the program, see the link below. And there is also a discount code, so see the show notes below for the discount code and the registration link, and hopefully see you at Al Wadba. Now let's kickstart today's episode. Today we have a really interesting guest called Haythem. Now if you have been in obstacle course race, fitness challenge, or if you have done any CrossFit activity, you would have definitely seen him. He's probably one of the most laughable person, one of the most energetic person, not just in obstacle course race, but in fitness community as well. And in this podcast, what I really liked, he shared his experience, how he got into obstacle course race, and surprisingly, his first experience was something to do with water. So when you listen to this experience, he shared his experience about, doing a couple of challenges. What I really liked is the advice that he gave to some of the race directors and organizers. I personally agree to, some things which he mentioned that with reference to the timing of the events. So listen to that part, especially if you're a race director. I definitely think you need to take it on board. And later on in the podcast, he also shared some really powerful and inspiring message that sometimes, things in life don't go as we plan it to, but we need to be ready. And he tried to merge what we are going through in our personal life with physical fitness activities. So when I asked him a question in terms of, are you doing any other obstacle course race or any other activities like CrossFit or anything, how does it help? And he immediately replicated with something, which we experience in our personal life. And I do think that that is absolutely inspiring. And towards the end, he also thanked, the UAE community in general. So I definitely think it's a brilliant episode and you'll definitely like it. And hopefully you might see Haythem having an Insta 360-degree camera in the upcoming races as well. So check this out. And if you do have any feedback or suggestions, you can always drop us an email, mention that in the comments below. And Haythem Hosam Instagram and all the details will be in the show notes as well below. Thank you so much, Haythem, for doing this. Really, you taking your time out of your busy schedule. And I do understand that you're working today as well. How has your day been, Haythem, so far?
All is good, alhamdulillah. All is fine.
Was it like a busy day today or?
Not really. It was half-half.
And this is really interesting to say considering the fact that we're on a Tuesday. So it looks like you do have a very lucky job because Mondays and Tuesdays are quite busy and very active, especially work-wise for us.
I will tell you a small secret, but I understand that is when you start your day with workout, it's totally different. Doesn't matter. You done the hard part when you're training, so everything come after that looks easy. But when you work out after the work, it's like whatever you had in the work, even if it's small things like make you loaded with a lot. So
absolutely,
I start to believe that is working before work is much better.
100% agree on that. So Haythem, can you tell our listeners a bit about yourself, as in where you originally from? When did you move to Dubai or UAE, and how did you get involved in obstacle course race?
I'm originally from Egypt. I moved to Dubai in 2014. I work as an IT engineer in tourist sector. How I come to races and everything, it's just started with my volunteering part when I was doing a lot of volunteering work back few years back, until I see the waves of yellow and black in 2019 in the Spartan Stadium. I was team captain for the spur in the Spartan Race. So I was giving the instructor and dealing with everyone. But when I start to see the athlete and start to see how people is running, how they look, it was really amazing for me. I said, nah, I need to be part of these guys. I cannot be on the other volunteering part anymore. I need to get involved. And I reach out to back on time to OCR Nation. And from there I start to know all about obstacle and so on. And the journey started in 2019.
Excellent. And the black and yellow you're referring to is OCR Nation. That's brilliant. Yeah. And even the T-shirt that we got at the Spartan Stadium, that was yellow.
Yeah.
That was a different yellow color one.
That's true.
Absolutely.
And it's one of the only stadium races done so far in UAE.
Yeah, totally agree. And I'm definitely hoping, that they do have some more stadium races. And what I wanted to ask is, Haythem, you've done quite a lot of obstacle course race. I see you pretty much on all fitness activities, be it, let's say, Xtreme Endurance, the Tough Mudder, even Deka, and even Hyrox. You do quite a lot of those things. Now, take us back to a moment in terms of, how do you approach a particular event? And can you take us back to a moment when you did your very first obstacle course race? What was your thoughts? What was your expectation? And what was the reality?
Oh, man, I love to try things. There is a say, you never know if you never try. So I start with OCR, and just with pure luck, I hit with Xtreme Endurance.
Yeah.
And from there, I start to, wherever there is a race upcoming, I have to try. So I done already the OCR, I done the Xtreme, I done the Deka CrossFit, I done the trail run, the normal run, Hyrox, the tests which done so far. I done the Ring the Bell in Abu Dhabi, and I done also duathlons. I done 2 duathlons so far. So I'm also thinking about Ironman in the future, but it is still so far just a plan to work on.
Absolutely. And for our listeners, I do remember an event where you were not keeping well, but you were still there at the event just to support your colleagues and support your friends. So our listeners will definitely, once they see your face, they'll definitely identify who you are.
Absolutely. It's for me, races is not, I'm a competitive, but I'm only competitive with myself. So I'm not, my target is not to get on the podium as much as to help much people to to come to the finish line. It's not for me who come first, who come second, but the point is to get there, because while we are doing it, there is 1,000 million of people that's not doing it, and they always, the main idea you always get from people, oh, I'm not in the right fitness level, I'm not like you guys. No, you are like us. We are all come from the same sofa, from the same bed, and one day we decided to change our life. So it is just when you decide to change and you go for it, But people always scared, like, I don't want to fall, I don't want to wait, Once they get addicted, it is done. It is done. Once they try it once, they want to try it again and do this and do that. Back to your question, which race was really tough for me? And I remember when we did the challenge this was actually my first official OCR race, was Ice Warrior in Dubai.
Ski Dubai, okay, yeah.
Yeah, -4. And that man was no. I was not prepared. I was not with the right gear, and I had to learn a lot from this point. That is, you cannot just sign up for a race and just show up. You have to understand what conditions, what gears you need, what will help you. because in the end of the day, you wanna enjoy the race, have a good experience, and come out without injuries, without feeling pain, without feeling any suffering. So it's always nice to be prepared.
Oh, that is really interesting. So your expectation versus reality was that completely different, right?
Absolutely.
That is absolutely. I'm so glad to know that you did your Ice Warrior Challenge first. And for listeners, you need to know that in Dubai, right in the middle of the sand, we also have an obstacle course race, which is held right in the middle of a mall, and it is surrounded by ice, where you have a couple of obstacles at -4 degrees. And that is one of the obstacle course race which you did first. That was absolutely brilliant. And can you tell our listeners, Haythem, in terms of how many obstacle course races have you done so far? I'm sure that, I see you in all the obstacle course race, not just in the obstacle course race, even fitness related activities. How many have you done so far in your experience?
I believe I done them all.
Yeah.
I done them all. I done the three for Spartans for sure, and I done the Nazi challenge. I done the Warrior, the X Warrior challenge. Also,
is it Desert Warrior challenge?
Desert Warrior as well. A couple of times, different distance. I don't know, man. I don't know.
And we did the Hyrox PFT as well recently. That was the last one.
Yeah. It's even if people don't know, there is also the Ring the Bell, which is just coming new to the community. It started from Abu Dhabi, from one of the nice team there, Desert Shield.
Yep.
They are doing now them own obstacle. It's mixed actually. It's have OCR, it have endurance, it have CrossFit. It's very nice challenge called Ring the Bell, which is really interesting because it's also can be done individually, it can be done as a team, it have running, it have OCR, it have CrossFit, have everything.
And the team from Desert Shield Fitness, they're really nice people as well. And I think they are the first obstacle course race community in the Middle East as well. So definitely brilliant here. And what I wanted to ask is, when we did the PFT, I remember that on that particular day, you also did an Xtreme Endurance event in the morning. And then you did the PFT. So do you want to talk about that particular day? Because PFT was a massive deal for us. But then I found out that, you did another event which was probably much tougher than the PFT, and then directly you came back to the PFT here.
Yeah. There's days when you just have to push yourself to the limit to understand how your body will react. But back on time, I would say that I was really in a good fitness. Even it's not so far ago, but I was really in a good mentally and physically state, which we start at 6 in the morning. We went for 2 hours of extreme endurance event. And then at 12 afternoon, we had to do the Hyrox PFT. It was a killer.
Absolutely.
And I believe in the same day, which you don't know, that we went for 5K run for one race called Glow Run.
Was that after the event?
Yeah, it was night at 8 p.m. We went for 5K run.
That is absolutely
it was a fun run called Glow Run.
You're correct. Yeah, now I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like one day of doing everything. It was
pushing. And for our listeners to know, I believe that time the temperature was hovering around 41 to 42 degrees. It was one of the hottest days that day as well.
Yeah, it was humidity and it was horrible, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Because anyway, for me, because I'm interested in extreme endurance, we have events which last for 4 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, and 60 hours. So you need from time to time to test your body how far can take you and help you to survive. Because extreme endurance events more about surviving by yourself or by your team, but in the end you cannot just wait till the event happen to test it, but in a regular basis you have to test yourself. Can I do this or I cannot? Because if you cannot, you need to work on yourself to see what you can do to make it better. And if you can, then you know your limits, then you start push in more careful way to improve yourself.
Absolutely. And for our listeners, once you follow Haythem on his Instagram profile, you'll see a lot of posts about extreme endurance. And some of these events are really, really tough. I believe one of the events which is coming up is a 42-kilometer with a rucksack. I believe that's
Yeah, in
pretty
Chowka,
soon.
yeah. We are doing one of our 24 hours events in Wadi Shauka
Oh,
for just rocking. What for people who don't know what rocking is? Rocking is an American sport come from the USA military, which is walking for a long distance with weight. So most of us, starting from any age or any level of fitness, we start from 10 kg, a wet vest or backpack, till our leaders who walk around with 40 and 50.
And the leaders are Rob and Dave, I
Yeah,
believe, right?
Ruben, Dave, and Jacob. They are
Oh,
already mastered in this. And it's really helped you to burn a lot of calories, and at the same time it's built an endurance for your body to last longer and always be prepared for a long times outside.
absolutely. And the team from Extreme Endurance, they are physically quite tough, but at the same time, they're really lovely human beings as well. They're extremely approachable. Someone you can definitely go ahead and ask any questions to. Rob, I've often asked him questions about shoes as well, because he has a different preference for shoes as well. And now recently, you guys also did stand-up paddle boarding with the rucksack as well, right?
Yeah, it was one of the, because we do what I really love about our family in extreme endurance, that is we train 12 months a year.
Mm.
Because usually during summer here, the heat and everything, so
Yep.
many of the trainings being hauled to people cannot stand the heat outside. But for us, that is not an option.
Yep.
And we always have challenges coming for us from USA, as
Yep.
apart from many group there like Gorak or some other groups. That is, these challenges take a lot of time because we're not looking for the medals in this events. We're looking for our batches, and
Yep.
our batches really mean we done this and we done that. So even when no one can stand outside, we managed to do in an early morning or a late night events that is still can make people
Yep.
active during summertime. That's from one side. From second side, we do our own challenges. So we make like 4 hours challenges, which we put all kind of sport in it. When you can walk with weight, we do some stuff with pedaling and some of a little bit of CrossFit, body weight
Yep.
training. So we like to push.
Absolutely. So what I'll do is, in the show notes below, I'll mention the Extreme Endurance and your Instagram IDs and everything as well. And one thing what I wanted to ask you, Haytham, is let's talk about your experience in UAE. You've done Ice Warrior Challenge, you've done Spartan Race, Desert Warrior Challenge, you've done Extreme Endurance events as well. What is some of your favorite events? What is it that you personally like? What is your preference?
As a race course, you mean?
Yeah, what is it that you like to do? Like,
Look, my favorite OCR course so far, it will be in Oman, Muscat in 2018.
Yeah.
Because it was really it was an amazing course, and it was have all kind of floors, so you run on the hard floor, you run on sand, you run on rocks, and you had some part where you were swimming. So this is one of my favorite, honestly.
that was the Spartan trifecta, I think so, right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a traffic weekend, and it
Yeah.
was my first Spartan
Oh, excellent.
brand ever. So it was very special for me. For me, what really I find myself in right now is extreme endurance for sure, and for the CrossFit. This two is really make me feel so good because since Corona hit and OCR become less and less, and it's not honestly much races right now, so it's really hard.
Totally agree. And hopefully, probably by the end of this year and next year, there are more obstacle course races and other events that do actually begin in Dubai.
I hope so.
Yeah. And Haytham, can you talk to us about your individual training plan? What is it that you particularly do? Let's say you want me to put on mute, I can call. You can take
One
it
second.
on. Yeah, no problem.
Tell me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry again.
No worries at all. You can take time as well. Yeah, I'll pause it. No problem.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Tell me.
Yeah. In terms of what I wanted to ask is, Haytham, from your end, can you tell our listeners about your training plan? So, what is it that you do? Let's say if you find out that there is an event few months after from now, so let's say 3 months down the line, there is an event. What is it that you do 3 months down the line, 1 month down the line, 1 week before, and the day before the race? I was going to ask, do you take rest before the event?
Absolutely.
You don't take
nothing.
Yeah.
Before the race is absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Just chilling around, having fun, and be prepared for the race. Look, when we have an event, we take for sure our time to prepare. First, physically, and second, by all possible gears which help you during the race. Because the race is not only about how fit you are, but how prepared also as well with your gear. Because you can be in your best shape, but with the wrong shoes or missing gear, everything can be destroyed. So in the 3 months before the race, we first start with increasing our carb loading for that. Second thing, also water and hydration, because during the race you have to consume a lot of energy, so you have to be really in the right nutrition plan for each one, because it's different from one to another. From the training part, we focus sometimes on your cardio, because running is part of OCR. So you don't have to run fast, but you have to run on a stable pace. We do some training sessions for the obstacles, even with OCR Empire or with Xtreme Endurance. There is many communities for that, and we always help each other to work on the techniques, how to master the multi-wings, how to master the rope climbing. It's a little bit dangerous for beginning, but after sometimes you get the courage that I can do this, I can do the next. So you always focus on the technique time by time, and how to improve yourself to make it on the right way and the fast way at the same time. And as I told you before the race, it's always a fun day. Just relax,
absolutely.
Chill out with your buddies, because usually we arrive to the race 1 day before to have a nice sleep over there, because sleep is so important before a race. And the moment you get there, you can just rest.
Absolutely, yeah. And in your experience, in a mixture of, let's say, CrossFit, mixture of duathlon, and mixture of obstacle course race, what is one particular obstacle that you particularly like, or are there a couple of obstacles that you personally like individually? What are some of your favorite ones?
I love the monkey bars and the multi rings. The monkey bar and multi rings is my favorite, to swing like a monkey. The one I enjoy always going is A-frame.
Yep.
That's a fun one. Jumping fire. It's always a nice ending of the race. Always in the obstacles. In CrossFit, anything with weight.
Oh, okay.
Anything with weight is really challenging for me, and I love it. What else? In Xtreme there is not much obstacles, so it's more about the fun you have with your colleagues. So that's
correct.
It.
Yeah, it's more about building the endurance and everything. Right?
Exactly.
Perfect. Now, since you looked at some of the obstacles that you like, what are some of the obstacles that you do not like, or something you absolutely hate doing those particular obstacles?
When you have to go to the water in the middle of -4, that is not fun. That is not fun. And I remember in the the X Warrior when they put the pool in the middle of the race.
Yeah.
Come out fully wet, and you are at -4, and you start to freeze, so your body is confused. Shall I warm you up, or shall I give you energy to go forward? And you're stuck in the middle, you don't know what to do. That was really one of the obstacles. I really hate it when it happened.
And have you done any Tough Mudder? Because in Tough Mudder also they have somewhat similar obstacles. There's a lot of ice. And
I done Tough Mudder just one time. This last time, this was the first time to try Tough Mudder. But there was no ice there. I don't know.
There was one in a Desert Warrior Challenge as well. They call it as Brain Freeze.
Oh, no. This is fine. Look, as long as in your open air and you can dry, it's fine. But when you are at -4, it's not fine.
Okay, I got it.
I have no problem with water obstacles. It's fine.
I see. Okay, now I understand.
But in a certain places, in certain obstacles, in a certain races, no, it's not.
Now I understand. Yeah, now it does make a lot of sense.
You know, in the sun you can always dry, but inside the ice is not fun.
Well, I get your point there. Are there any other obstacles that you dislike, or just this one?
Oh, I will not say don't like, but it was hard.
Yeah.
The one we had in Ras Al Khaimah in the Warrior Challenge, when you jump in the water and then you have to climb up this wall.
It was called Slippery But Wet.
So
there was a rope as well, right?
So difficult, and you need to focus so hard to get up there. So yeah, when you put in water, then an obstacles, always hard.
Absolutely, and it was very slippery as well.
And it took a lot of time to manage to pass it without getting yourself hurt.
Yeah, absolutely correct. And I think the obstacle was called as Slippery But Wet. And I was one of the guys, midway, I also had a GoPro and I tried to do a video recording and I fell as well. So that was definitely a good one. And what I wanted to ask next is, let's say, if this is a message, let's say race directors and organizers, are there any suggestions that you'd like to give them in terms of, maybe changing the obstacles, or do you have any obstacles in your mind that you would like to recommend to the race directors and the organizers? And based on, the feedback that you get from colleagues and the people, do you have any recommendations for them?
Look, from my own experience, I would say that everyone here is doing a good job by trying their best to give us the most perfect experience ever. For sure, there's some races which, it's a long distance and there is a less water stations, which for new people, I want to say for people who used to do this, but people who come for the first time, it's really hard to last long without water. And it would be highly recommended that is, instead making water station every 2 kilometers to make like 1 kilometers, for races which happen, especially like trail run, which I fond of trail run, they always make the race start at 7. Why we don't start it a little bit earlier, like 5:30, 6 in the morning? Why we don't break the dawn when we are running? It's completely, we are running in trail run with trail run DXP, and we always start around 5:30, 6 in the morning, and it's absolutely amazing experience to start running when the sun still didn't hit you. Yeah, when you are finishing, it's fine because your body didn't dehydrate during the sun or something. But I would love that if they consider it one time to break the dawn on the races, on the race time, especially to run, it will be a completely amazing experience. For races which happen usually in the afternoon, it would be highly recommended also to have more water obstacles so people can fall down. One place I wish they make race in, like Kite Beach, something near the beach, something where people can be in the streets, can just stop and watch, because usually the obstacle race is somewhere in the desert, middle of nowhere, and to go there you need to go by car or something like that. So you don't have people just to stop and watch. Only if you bring your family or your friends, they will come and watch. But fine. But the idea to bring new customers to the game,
Correct.
you need to make it somewhere which people can watch. Like
Yep.
Iron Man. Why Iron Man is full of people who come and watch? Because it's done in the Kite Beach, which
Yep.
everyone can go anytime and watch. So I would love that is one day they do an OCR or like Xtreme Endurance event, but just somewhere in the middle of the city so people can go and watch.
Absolutely. I 100% agree because, the travel time, you can get your friends and relatives and, it definitely adds a lot of interest. I totally agree. And I hopefully some of, the race organizers and race directors are definitely listening to this. I do appreciate that feedback. And what I wanted to find is, Haytham, from you, do you have any advice that you'd like to give, to fellow athletes? And for someone new who's listening to this particular podcast, do you have any advice for them?
For the old gang.
Yeah.
The community in UAE have a lot of amazing humans. I would not say people, but they are amazing humans because they always there to help, to support, to give advice, to share experiences. Like you said, like Rob asking about shoes, they will never, because even we get the information in the easy way, they had it the hard way, and some of us is still getting the answer hard way because if you're doing something for first time, you have to test everything by yourself and then you give your feedback. But I believe every community here have amazing leaders, have people who help always for free, and whenever you ask them for anything, they will always answer you. My hope and my wish that is to be back on time again, like before Corona, and we have a lot of free sessions, a lot of community gathering to just motivate people. Because after Corona, the community generally in UAE had been changing because many people left and many new people came. So all the communities now is getting less people because a lot of the old members left, and people like scared to join because they think they are not fit, they will not fit. But when we used to do the free sessions on Kite Beach or on D3 or whatever, stranger watch you and they look normal, let's join. So I would really love that we do more of communities events. Just
I totally agree, and I know of 4 people who actually saw us doing the training at a beach, and because of that, they are now part of the obstacle course race community. So I 100% agree to that. And what I wanted to ask is, and this is something you've mentioned in the past as well. Now, besides obstacle course race, you do quite a lot of other sports-related activities as well. Can you tell us how is that, connected, let's say, to obstacle course races as well? Or how do you try to merge all of them together?
Look, you can train for obstacle races, okay? You can, because before you go to any race, like Spartan, Desert Warrior, or Challenge, Warrior Challenge, you have a plan of the obstacles.
Yep.
And you can train for this plan in advance. So you will have mud rings, 90 bar, a wall, 6 feet wall, 4. So you have time to prepare for that, and that is nice and fine because you know what you are facing, and you know how to do it. But in CrossFit and in Xtreme Endurance, you don't know. You get the plan on the day of the race, so you have to be fully prepared for anything. And this part, I will, when people ask me why Xtreme Endurance, why Hurricane Heat, and I said because life don't come with a manual. You know that. So whenever you have a problem like in a certain area, you have to face it on the spot.
Correct.
Yeah. You don't come prepared to the problem, but you use your own experience. So when you train for everything, when you can run, you can do weightlifting, you can do OCR. This is experience for you. So whenever you put in any situation, not only in the sport, also in personal life, you mind is trained. That is, you are always prepared for what's coming. If you know it, and can
Correct.
expect it, and if you don't know it. So it's really good that is, I will not say know everything, but at least try everything, because you don't know which one will really hit you.
Absolutely.
Running or cycling or swimming or OCR or what. And some people like myself and few people other I know, they love to do everything, because like now we are 9 months. We didn't have any OCR
Yep.
races, except last week when we had the first one, the X challenge.
Yep.
But again, sometimes there was running, there was trail running, there was CrossFit,
Yep.
Hyrox, whatever. There was many races going on, so you cannot just work on one thing and just sit and waiting when it's gonna happen next. So you need to
I,
stay active, because the more you are active, the more you will be ready for whatever coming your way.
and that is such a brilliant advice, and this is something which obstacle course race and fitness and other things teaches us in our personal life as well. Just be mentally prepared and physically prepared. So if anything does come up, you're at least ready for that. So absolutely brilliant advice. Now I have a couple of fun questions, and two of them are not related to fitness, and one
Okay.
of them is related to fitness. So the first one is, what is your music genre? Because I've noticed that on Instagram you often post music as well, and you've attended a couple of live gigs as well recently. So what is your music genre that you personally love?
Look, I I love all kinds of music. That's for sure. But it's depends on what workout I will go to music.
Ah, I
But
see. Okay.
running, I don't know why, but when I'm running, if I put house trance music, I
Oh,
run
okay.
faster.
It
I
gives
don't
you an
know.
additional kick or something.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's really give me energy to move fast. I love music generally. I'm so fond with music and dancing, and also photo shooting or whatever. It's always become a passion for me recently to record all our sessions, make
Yep.
memories with people. I take it like photos and videos can tell stories more than you spend time. Like one minute reel can tell what did you do in 2 3 hours, and instead of
Perfectly.
sitting to someone, we did this, we did that. So you save your time just with something small, in a hope it can be shared around, so it can tell the story to more people. That is, there is a sport, there is community, there is everything. For me, music. Uh, I would listen to anything, as long as make me happy and dance. Yeah,
That is
I'm completely actually.
that is brilliant. And the second one, this is more of a fun question. Is there any secret you'd like to tell our listeners, something which no one knows? I'm just hoping that you don't say that you're a serial killer or you murder someone. Any funny secret or something that you'd
Uh,
like to share to our listeners?
Secret. I'm gonna tell you a secret, but it's not actually a secret for everyone. But what people don't know most of the time, uh, because social media, we only show the fun time,
Yep,
the good time, but no one sees the real struggle, in life,
yep,
and that's really the hardest part any person can go through. We only share our good moments, our laughs, our training, but that's not actually our life 100%.
correct.
We have a life of struggle, a really
Yep.
bad struggle, and my secret is that if I'm mentally not in the right place, I cannot move.
Ah,
I cannot train. I cannot do anything. I'm completely paralyzed 100% if I'm not in the right mental state. For me, it is really hard to physically focus on anything when I'm
yep.
mentally not in the right place. Absolutely not. And that's one of the things I learned, that is okay, take a break, fix your problems, no shame, and that, take your time, and when you're ready, move on. Because one of the things I really don't like to hear it from many people, that when they say like, I didn't train for some times, I have some situation, then I'm gonna quit. I don't want to start over. You never start over.
Excellent. Yeah.
You start over from where you left. But you
Excellent.
don't
Yeah.
back again to the 0 point. If you was running and you stop running, you don't go back to running with pace of 10. You go back to running closer to the base you was running before. Like it was 5, it was 6. You're a little bit slower, but you're not so slow.
Correct. Yeah.
People have always to understand that is when you have a break for any reason, injury, mentally problems, whatever,
Yep.
don't wait. Give it the time, process it, and move on. And always find someone to talk with. Because it is so important to not let things inside you all the time. You have to share with someone close, with family, with friends, but always it's important to find the right support. And as Rob say, always you will never get support if you never ask it for it.
That is such a brilliant advice and something, which we talked about it before the session as well, before recording, because we shared some of our things as well. So I absolutely 100% agree. And part of me, is getting a little bit inspired as well with what you're saying. Because, situations don't change. We have to start moving it and then change again. Excellent advice.
But, I want to tell you something personally to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. One of the people who made me really into the racing shooting was you.
Oh.
Whenever look for a long while, I see you in the races. I didn't know who you are. And you know that.
I'm very quiet here.
Yeah, we just say hi, bye for a long time. I always see you with camera, and I was like, that is really interesting because when you are in a race, you cannot explain how it was.
Yeah.
In the right words, you cannot say it was hard, it was tough, but it was always for me interesting. Like, let's show it.
Exactly.
Let's show how it was look like.
Yeah.
Because people will have much better idea when they see the experience than listen about the experience.
Yeah.
So I get my gear on, but I'm waiting for the right moment, and I'm gonna compete with you.
Absolutely, that'd be excellent. With a new GoPro which is out, that'll be absolutely fantastic. Maybe we both can do with GoPro as well. That'll be absolutely brilliant.
Currently, I have 360, so let's see.
Excellent.
Let's see. So let's get two better than one, So it will give a lot of because the reason I choose 360.
Is that the GoPro one or
it's
the Insta 360?
Insta 360.
Oh, that is much better than. To be honest, that is much better. 100%.
Because when you are trying to filming something in the race, you have to focus on people in front of you, people back. When we're running as a group.
Yeah.
So there is someone in the front, someone in the back, someone in the right, someone in the left, and you cannot just keep turning your hand and the camera all the time. So the idea of 360, it can get whatever happening around you. So it starts really work.
Absolutely.
Because I love to have everyone included. Because it's always nice to.
I'm definitely going to give the Insta 360 because I'm not sure if you know Jason from Abu Dhabi. He also has an Insta 360 in all of the races. He captures with the Insta 360.
This is one of the badass people I know.
Absolutely.
And he's fantastic.
He's brilliant. I was just talking to him earlier as well, about the unbreakable pass and everything. And one final question, Haythem, for today is, how can listeners? Oh, I forgot one more question, and that was, with reference to this is another bit of a fun but linked to fitness. If there is one gym equipment that would be associated to you or your favorite gym equipment, what would that be and why?
Dumbbells.
Oh, okay. Because you like heavy.
Yeah. It is fun. It is fun. I already have my own small gym at home as well. So
excellent. Yeah. And it's interesting you said kettlebells as well because Joe Cena, he's a massive fan of kettlebells as well. Brilliant. And
it's a small equipment and you can have it anytime and you can, just train it with many different workouts and it doesn't cost a lot of money and not too much space.
Absolutely, brilliant. And one final question is, how can listeners get in touch with you? I mean, is there any YouTube channel that you have or Instagram or Facebook that you have that you want to get in touch with you?
My page on Instagram is 100% open. Haythem Hosam It's always open. They can get touch also with our Xtreme, because I'm admin in Xtreme Endurance, so they are always welcome to join the group. And we always tell that whenever we have any new joiner, we always say, if you have any questions, fire directly. You don't have to wait till the right time to ask a question. Whenever you have a wonder, just ask. And honestly, I'm mostly getting the question on Instagram, because a lot of people like reaching out because, hey Sam, you are an ambassador. Can we ask you, please, what about this? What we need? Do we need to get the gears? Because as I told you, when you physically prepared for the race, you have also to prepare the gear, and this is so important for people to understand. And this is our big advice, which you learn from all the coaches and all the athletes. Never, ever try new gear.
Correct.
On the race day. Never, ever. Because you can be prepared 100% and one new gear. And I done this mistake myself. And you will not imagine it just the socks.
Yeah. Especially the shoes. New shoes is terrible.
And it was just the new socks, and it's completely damaged my finger. I finished the race. My toes was really bleeding because of it. So I learned from this: never ever try new gear on the race day. Always try it 1 time, 2 times to make yourself comfortable with your gear. Started from the t-shirt, from shorts, pants, your camelback or hydration back, your socks, your shoes, even your goggles if you are using goggles.
Absolutely.
You need to try it because you don't want to be something spoiled. Because like the race day is your festival day. You want to enjoy it. You are going in your best look, in your best gear, so you want to have fun.
Absolutely.
So one small thing can spoil it for you.
Absolutely, brilliant. Well, thank you so very much, Haythem. Really, really appreciate you doing this, and it was absolutely fantastic. I'm sure that
my pleasure. And really, George, you're one of the kindest people I really met in this sport. The most thing I loved about our all communities, all people who do races in UAE, they have the most kind, beautiful heart, which really you can meet during this journey. We are all strangers in this country. It is still feel like home, but home with his family,
Correct.
And UAE been welcoming us all the time and giving us an amazing experience. But in the end, we have to support each other as one, regardless where we come from, what nationalities, what religion, what belief. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we are sharing the same passion, and the passion is the love for the sports. And if sport didn't teach us how to be human and how to be kind to each other, so what's the point of the sport?
Absolutely, that is a brilliant.
I would really thanks UAE, Dubai Council, Abu Dhabi for all the events you are doing. Man, they are putting a lot of efforts to make the events more and more and in an amazing way. Really, hope one day, really, that the dream which they have, that's to make this really a 100% sport country.
Absolutely, yeah. And next month there's also Dubai Fitness Challenge, which is going to start.
Here you go again.
Absolutely, it's going to be absolutely.
What crazy happens this year?
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Haythem. Really, really appreciate it.